Okay, greetings, brothers and sisters. So, my wife and I were walking around our pasture yesterday, and I started to talk to her about doing the prayer before bedtime. Just whatever. We have a conversation about the prayer, and she said, "Which prayer?" Because we do the 9 p.m. universal prayer, and she didn't know about um, the mission prayer that you say before the any time you meditate. And she started with a preceptor that turned out to be, not very good. The mission prayer, the prayer I'm about to read to you, is to be done before you meditate. If you meditate on your own in the morning, or you do a sitting individual or group meditation, it's not to be done when you're doing your cleaning, but it should be done. It should be the last thing you do before going to sleep. And the reason for this is it is like throwing on a switch that connects you to the transmission and cleaning and all these things. Now, if you haven't been doing the prayer, you still might feel it. You still feel the transmission. It'll still be there because your intention's there. But the prayer is significant, right? It was something given to Babaji as, it's like divine revelation. And so, with Daji coming in and bringing the goofy relaxation exercise, like that's something new brought by Daji. That wasn't there before. And I didn't like it when I first, I sat with the preceptor, and the preceptor did the relaxation. And, I didn't need it because I'd been meditating for years without it. And so it wasn't something like I needed, or it enhanced the sitting. And as far as relaxation exercises go, I didn't think it was a good one. Like I've experienced those before, and there are better ones out there. So it's just, classic Dodgy. But the prayer is not being emphasized and maybe even not told to people, which is a big problem. And it's just another way that the system is falling, down. The prayer isn't talked about at all. Like Daji's not going through. See, this is why when you get rid of the literature, like he has with Charji and Babaji, it's. I mean, I guess Babaji talks about the prayer, but Charji talked about it multiple different times. It was brought up, and Daji never talks about it, at least as far as I know. And so, with that not being, just the fall off of information, and it's not being emphasized, then people aren't doing a significant part of the system. Again, when you do it at night, well, I'll get into it. Let me just read the prayer and then read the explanation. And so I'm going to put this in a separate playlist of its own if you need to find it. I think I have the prayer printed on some of my playlists. And again, and I'll link to this page here. If this is an official Sahaj Marg website, pre-Dodgy, pre-Heartfulness. And it talks about this here. And it says, prayer and meditation, a companion to the daily practice of meditation and cleaning is a prayer meditation. Repeat just before the morning meditation and in the evening before we retire for the night. That means before you go to bed. When we take a few minutes to meditate on the meaning of the prayer, we are essentially affirming on the deepest level our link with the divinity within us. And here's the prayer. And so you're meditating you're meditating on the meaning of the prayer right before you go to sleep. And what that's supposed to do is have you connect with the divinity within you and this transmission and the whole Sahaj Marg system when you're going to sleep. So when you're asleep, you're now, instead of just sleeping like, the normal person would be sleeping, you're making the intention to connect to divinity throughout your night. It helps you sleep better with less stress and wake up the next morning ready to go and meditate. Connects you. And so the prayer is, O Master, thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God in power to bring us up to that stage. And then he goes on to say this. The first line of the prayer affirms our goal. The word master refers to God and God alone, the ultimate master who resides in each and every heart. So you're praying to the master within your heart, right? That's what, oh master, you're connecting with the divinity within you. And also the divine master. Sahaj Marg believes that the human spiritual guide or master is one who helps aspirants establish contact with the divinity within. The second line of the prayer refers to our present state, acknowledging we are the creators of our own problems and that our wishes and attachments are obstacles to our progress. So, O Master, thou art the real goal of human life. So the divinity within you is, the manifestation of that divinity is the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. That means that your desires and your ego are blocking you from becoming the first thing, right? The second line of the prayer refers to our present state, acknowledging we are the creators of our own problems and that our wishes and attachments are obstacles to our progress. The third statement points to the source of our liberation, recognizing that it's God alone who can help us rise to the highest state of existence. Thou art the only God in power to bring us up to that stage. And the reason the word master is used there instead of God is because the process in the Sahaj Marg system, the divine master that's working through the living master and the master within you, are the catalyst for you to reach that stage, because God is in a passive state and the master is in an active state. The prayer of the Sahaj Marg is a gentle daily reminder. It is a humble acknowledgement of where we are now and how we would like to grow. It is recommended that we start the day with this prayer, saying it is silently once, allowing the meaning to sink into our consciousness before beginning our morning meditation. At the end of the day, the same prayer is repeated mentally once or twice, and then we meditate on this meaning for 10 minutes. Reflection on the prayer is the last thing we do before the day is brought to an end. This practice of being and ending the day with the prayer establishes a connection with the source throughout the day. And then there's a quote from Babaji here. When a man creates in himself a strong craving for the absolute, he is indeed in a state of prayer, and it is for everyone to strive for it. So that's the explanation. I'll leave links to this. I'll put this in the default, in terms of the links of the, I have a default program that puts all these links in. And I'll leave a link to this video, and there'll be a separate playlist. And so people should all memorize this prayer, and it's to be said at the beginning of, before you do an individual sitting, a group meditation, or your morning meditation, and then before you go to bed. And with the idea is that you're connecting. The prayer is like turning on a switch to connect you to the divinity within you. And for those of you who don't know about it, please, if you started with a preceptor and they didn't tell you about it, sometimes they think people might be freaked out by the prayer, and so they don't tell the person till like later on. And it's done silently, so it isn't like the group is doing it and you're aware of it. So it's something that where, you memorize it and you can say it before you meditate. Let's say you meditate for 10 minutes, you take a break and you don't feel great and you just, you don't want to do cleaning and you just want to feel connected or something. You can meditate and you say the prayer, right? But you don't say it over and over like a mantra. It's to be said once at the beginning, and that's the whole thing. It's not a mantra. But anyways, so that's the mission prayer. If you've started with a preceptor, they haven't told you about it, and please leave a comment if you anything that you know about it in terms of your experience, because I just assumed everybody, I told everybody about it in the videos, and I thought everyone who had started with a preceptor would know about this, but apparently that's not the case. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paramano, definitely pointing from the Apocalypse, and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.